Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that complain about Mexican rules and Mexican ways to work. No.
Yeah, sometimes.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's okay, brother. Let's let's practice. Let's practice with this because it's already uh um Isaac is already here. Hello, brother.
Hello.
There you are. Hello. Perfect. Sorry, I was looking for the article that we are going to read today that has something to do with Monday's video. Do you remember shower thoughts?
Ah, yes.
That awesome video that we had, and we thought that we were having like this mental um mental solutions and thinking about it and thinking about your problems and things like that. But we were not talking about that. There was actually some crazy stuff going on. No? Well, I was like opening with that video because I want to know your opinion on how do you think this guy got those shower thoughts? You know, like how does one get to that state of of thinking? Any thoughts? How do
Could
you
you
get
could
and how do you
you
arrive?
could you how to say reissue structure your question? I think I didn't get
Sure. Let me rephrase. Or yeah,
rephrases.
like how do you get to these thoughts? How do you think this guy invented, come up with all this stuff?
I don't know. Maybe when we are alone, we have like strange thoughts.
Yes, when we are alone, right?
Yes,
But
because well, if you don't have nothing to worry about, maybe you can start like imagine things and making yes, wondering things that you usually don't worry about.
okay, but that's an interesting conditional. If you don't have anything to worry about, but everybody's got something to worry,
Yeah.
no? So then this is an interesting situation because some people prefer to stop thinking, no, and turn on
Okay.
the television and turn on the music or something, and don't have they don't reach this this state, you know. How do you handle silence, Isaac, for example?
No, my head is never in silence.
I imagine. Mhm.
Yes, no, I'm thinking all the time. And as you said, I usually um, find calm in podcast, music, television, because if not, I'm just thinking about, even if I'm not worried about something, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do, things that I could do maybe later. Yes,
Your
about a
plans,
lot
your
possibilities. Yeah. Yes, I making plans, or maybe sometimes I had some ideas about the pendings I have in the office. It's something really interesting because I have had no, I have found many solutions while I am in another place. You know, when you have any issue, but sometimes you are really overwhelmed. Or is
yes,
it overwhelmed? But
overwhelmed.
but once you left the office, well, once you leave the office, you are like more relaxed, and you can find. I think that the ideas of those start. How say how say fluid.
Emerging.
Oh,
Emerge is a word, probably
yes,
the best.
I like it. Emerge. It's
Mhm.
easier.
Correct. Yeah, because the word flow. Yeah, you can use the word flow too.
Yes, no, but I think that is better emerge,
But it's a
because
phrasal verb though. Come
okay,
up.
come up,
But in
come
this
up
case,
with something. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, I remember that this phrasal verb. I have read it before.
You can use that instead of like in
Yes.
English, in Spanish, like your idea starts to.
You come up.
Ah, that's funny.
Yes. So that's something good about stay thinking. I read an article and I said it to Silvana, but she didn't believe me that there are some people um that doesn't have like an internal dialogue with
Oh,
themselves.
true.
Yes, and that's something
Yes.
really weird because I cannot imagine like being quiet.
How can you live like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then you can see. I saw on TikTok this week the whole opposite. The whole opposite. There was this husband and his wife. The husband
Mm-hmm.
was laughing. He was like laughing his ass off, and and she didn't understand why. And he was like, "What did you say? Can you repeat again? What did you say? What happens when you cannot sleep?" And she's like, "Well, the usual. My head doesn't stop saying tit, 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 tit,
Uh-huh.
tit, tit." And she was singing a song that was so like she memorizes the song. She knows the song perfectly.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, so there are people that have music in their heads or they have like other types of level of concentration because one
Yes.
thing is to have an internal speech,
Uh-huh.
but another very different thing is to have voices and music.
It's
This
like
girl,
for example, when you can watch Shrek 2 because you already memorized the movie.
right, and you can see the ceiling and imagine the movie, no? Because you memorize this. Well, that's a different thing because this is an external thing, no?
Yeah.
But in this case, this music and these voices were coming from your mind, for the mind of this woman. I went to find. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find
Okay.
TikTok, but it was so weird. My wife, mine singing. Aha! Look, I'm not the first one. I'm not the only one. And it was on the For You page. Wife, mine singing, trying to sleep. It was popular. Oh, found it.
My wife is neurodivergent.
So he said that his wife is neurodivergent. This is not the original.
Uh,
My wife is neurodivergent.
Understand.
I just told her, me, a neurotypical, when I go to sleep, my brain it powers down right along with my body, and I sleep. And she said, "But what's going on in your brain?" And I'm like, "Nothing. It's like creating the dream state, or it's completely it's completely dormant. It's not doing anything.
Nothing?
Nothing." And then she said, "The best I can get is."
Like that's it. Like if I'm not worrying about something, it's just noise. You don't just have noise in your brain.
No, I have
What about the narrator?
the narrator, right?
Or the one that tells you to go check the oven and the door.
Okay.
And did you unplug that thing that might catch fire in the middle of the night?
Of course,
and you lose
yeah.
everything.
Neither of us had any idea that she was neurodivergent when we met. We got married.
So the thing is called to be neurodivergent.
Okay.
She hears a narrator. Like the narrator orders her things.
Yes, I know it.
That's you. Do you have a narrator?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I think, well,
Okay.
it's my I'm my own narrator,
Yeah, but
but
it's like
yes,
in first person, no?
yeah, it's something weird.
No, no, I don't think it's weird. I think it's
Well,
very
just
normal when you're like playing Duolingo and then you hear, oh, freak, I didn't turn off the boiler, for example.
mm-hmm.
That's very normal. But a second person in your head telling you something, that's a different thing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yes.
Like she's never alone.
Yeah, at least she's never she never gets bored. Bored?
Exactly. Uh-huh. That's a positive thing.
Yeah. No,
But
but
anyway, that's the
yes, but
opposite.
it's a little difficult sometimes because you want to get some rest and your head never stops. Your
Right.
brain stops. Yeah.
Mhm. You stop a little, and in your case, you're thinking about your life, your things. Do you do you enjoy silence?
Science?
Silence.
Not
Uh-huh.
much.
Interesting. Why?
I don't know. I feel that I need to do something, and if there are silence, I think that I associate silence with not doing anything.
Mhm.
So that's why I don't like silence. Only when I'm sleeping.
Okay, can you say again why?
Ah, yes, because I associate silence and or I feel that the silence is related to not doing anything.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe that's why I don't feel comfortable with silence.
That's so interesting.
Yes,
This is something. Uh,
and also, for example, when I'm with another person or with a coworker, a friend, or yes, almost with everybody, I feel also um,
weird.
weird when we are not talking, something like this. I mean, if I feel comfortable with the person, there is no issue. For example, with my parents, with Silvana, I can be in silence and it's okay. But if I am with a person that I have a relationship, but it's not like too strong, too deep, I feel weird with the silence.
That's, I think, normal. I would feel
I,
like,
I, I hope so.
yeah, no, definitely. Like, I would
Yeah.
feel like the other person is thinking on something that doesn't want to share.
Ah,
I have always felt like that. And then there are situations where, when the person is like very close to you, that you can actually know what the other person is thinking, or at least you can be like sympathetic about the situation. You're normally in silence with a person that is close to you in the living room of your house, or let's say enjoying a movie. I don't know, but for example, being at the office without earphones, that's a difficult situation. That's what you mean is not comfortable, right?
yes, well, I mean, if you are working, there's no problem. But if you are, for example, at the lunch and we are in the same table, maybe
Mhm.
face to face, and we are not eating and we are not talking either, it's a little strange for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know that that's a common issue that we share as a generation?
No, I didn't know.
Yep. Like the meaning of silence has changed a lot recently with all the social media exposure and the ways we see things.
Mm-hmm.
Silence was actually something normal for our parents
Mm,
and grandparents, but
yes.
our special generation has been completely exposed
Yeah,
to
exactly. So well, we have like a lot of things around us all the time, no? For example, the internet, the well, especially I think that since we can use our cell phones to be in touch with other people,
browse.
yes, exactly, to search for information. If you are in Facebook, in Instagram, you are not like in direct touch with people, but you can see what they are doing. So I mean, we have a lot of how say stimulus.
Stimu, I think lie is a singular. Stimuli singular. No. Ah, yes. Stimuli is a plural.
Is a plural? Stimuli?
Stimuli.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we have a lot of stimuli around us, so we are always uh, like paying attention, no, to all the things that surrounds us.
Correct.
So when we are not like receiving this stimulate is in singular
Stimulus. Less.
stimulus. When we don't
Stimulus.
receive any stimulus, uh, we feel like uncomfortable.
Exactly. That's right. So, how natural is this? How natural is it to not be able to sit down in your room and think, right? Because you need this adrenaline and sensation of happiness that a TikTok provides, or a podcast that you need to always have in the back, or like to always be what's the verb? If stimulus isn't now stimulated,
Yes, no.
just like this. Stimulate is a verb. Uh huh. Stimulated.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the action of actually always being stimulated and always receiving any sort of impulse, external impulse, instead of being there, existing for a minute, with yourself.
Yes,
I have
yes.
been doing an experiment recently. I'm going to the gym
Uh-huh.
without earphones.
And you start thinking, well, for example, when you are exercising, do you start thinking about anything?
I focus so much
Mm-hmm.
my positions, my my the exercise I'm doing, the technique. I remember better my numbers, like the amount of kilos that I used last week. I can
Okay.
remember this week,
Okay, okay.
you
Well,
know.
so you focus on the task.
Aha,
Okay, yeah,
I
that's good.
focus much more.
But
And
yeah,
it's not the original reason was not focusing. The original reason was to be able to speak with another person if it's necessary,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Yes, it's interesting how I think that life and nowadays is fast, no? So we are always running. We don't pay attention maybe to the details,
Yes,
no? Yes,
we gotta slow down.
yes, sometimes yes.
That's my question to Chris. Chris, what happens when you are alone with your thoughts. Can you enjoy silence?
Being in my house,
Okay. For example, is it different from the office?
yeah, I think it's different.
Okay. Tell us about that. That's exactly what I want to say. What do you mean?
Because when I used to go to a office, mm, being in silence was not comfortable to me.
When you were going to the office, really? How's that?
hmm Because sometimes I used to be alone in the office, so
Oh,
yeah, it's on for me it was strange.
that's interesting. Yeah, because Isaac was saying the opposite. That Isaac cannot be in silence with a person in front. You
hmm
cannot be in silence alone. Why is that?
Well, I can do it, but I thought that you asked me what what was my feeling.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I can be in silence in even with another person.
Oh, well, when I say you can't, I mean that you don't like.
I can.
Positive.
I can do it. Yes.
So you like it. It
Mm,
can be a synonym. If you
I
say,
will.
uh-huh,
I wouldn't say that I like it, but I can do it.
sure. I'm not asking about ability. I think it's more like how much do you enjoy it?
Mm, I will say that I enjoy more being in silence than being chatting.
Yes.
Mm, while working because I cannot concentrate
No, of
chatting.
course. Of course, I agree with you. But then if you are in silence, do you put music or what do you do? Because of course you're not gonna be
Mm,
chatting if you're working, right? But can you work
yeah,
in silence, for example?
no. Normally I used to listen to music
I do too. And for
or
some reason,
or put a video,
exactly, or a
even
podcast.
if I am not watching it, just listening.
I agree so much with you. So much with you. I cannot work. Well, honestly, I have been working better in silence these days, but there is a point when I get super distracted, or even searching for the video that I'm going to put to to to, to work can take longer than the actual work that I need to do.
hmm
Has that happened to you?
Yeah, sometimes. Do you know what?
Tell me, tell me.
There is what's the word? A trend
I what?
in uh, a trend.
A train.
A,
Yeah,
there is a trend in videos to be short. So the point that you are mentioned could be challenging.
very
Yeah, there is a trend for video for shorter videos,
for shorter videos, especially if you open TikTok or you open Reels while
even
working.
Facebook.
Facebook. This is the most addictive designed application, and I hate it. I don't open Facebook anymore. but I understand how, and that's the reason, because I open Facebook for a second and my attention span disappears. Like I am watching, I was supposed to send, for example, a link to my Facebook page to promote it to another person. I was watching a video about Indian people making food, and I was like, whoa, what happened? I was doing a different thing, right? Seconds ago. You know, I I agree with you so much. Videos have the trend to be short. Mhm, I agree. And with all the content that exists in YouTube, YouTube finally has like videos that are 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but eventually they finish and you still need to continue working. So this is a distraction. That's another
Yeah.
stimulus.
But do you know what? When I really want to focus, I don't put any video or music.
Exactly. When you really need to focus, you don't do anything, right? Me too.
Yes, and at the end of the work or the task, I realize how much time I work without interruption.
Correct. That has happened to me so many times.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. Totally. Totally. This is the difficult part, no? That we have free access to all the different catalog and distractions that are one click away. And everything is so easy. Sometimes my brain, guys, when I open the browser, my brain automatically writes you like this. Like this is the first thing I write. Sometimes I need to, oh no, wait. I don't need to go to YouTube. I was supposed to search for something. But my brain literally just writes you like like a like an impulse, you know?
Hmm. Or open TikTok or YouTube in
Exactly.
the phone.
Right. And then you ask
Uh,
yourself, uh,
and you know what?
tell me.
Currently, I am not enjoying too much my project compared to my last assignation in Disney. In Disney was so wow. I love that project,
Mhm.
and I noticed today. I mean, actually working on this project, I realized that sometimes I don't want to do the tasks that I have. So my brain automatically grab the phone and start watching or doing
Scrolling.
anything but my job.
But your task, this
Hmm.
happens so often when you don't, when you are talking about discipline tasks, precisely.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was trying to tell Isaac about the gym. Nobody enjoys to go to the gym. Literally, nobody likes to do exercise. It's painful. It's horrible. It's a 2 hour task that you need to do. You know, the same as me checking exams. Jesus Christ, it's so like psychologically aggressive to me checking exams because I see everything that I didn't teach correctly. You know, like when I check exams, it's so evident how bad of a teacher I am. You know, and it's constantly reminding me that Jesus Christ, the verb to be, Jesus Christ, the have. And it's very difficult for me to separate those two, similar to going to the task to the gym. So when I turn off the external stimulus, I don't watch a video. I don't listen to music. I don't see do other things, and I focus on the task, the difficult task that I don't like. Do it faster. I focus better. I have a deadline. I see the clock, and I do what I'm supposed to do. You know. So, brother, you
Yeah,
mentioned
sometimes
exact.
it happens to me also.
That is so true. I don't know.
Sometimes you don't want to. I think there's a delay.
Yes, there's a late continue.
But sometimes I don't want to do a task, even if it's easy to do. Sometimes I know that the task will take me 5 minutes, and the time got spent, or sorry, get spent because I take the phone or I get distracted by anything else. So a task that will take me 5 minutes at the end take me 50 minutes.
Exactly.
And I know that, and I say to myself, I say to myself,
Yes.
okay, focus and finish this task, and then do whatever you want about focus
Exactly.
and end this task.
And
But
that's
it's
the interior
sometimes
voice.
difficult.
It's difficult. Yes, 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 yes. It's difficult at the beginning. When you see the clock and you have 8 hours in the morning, you're like, nah, let's begin the day with a little Facebook, you know? But then 6 o'clock happens and you're like, okay, I need to focus now. So it's a matter of comfort. It's a matter of finding a little bit of comfort in a task that I enjoy because I have a lot of responsibilities that I don't enjoy to do, which is very, very, very common nowadays. In the case of Isaac, does anything about this resonates to you? Because your conversation before was not similar. I think you're a person that can focus a lot.
Yes, yes, usually when I want to do that, yes, I usually take my how say earphone, how say audiphones,
Earphones.
earphones, and I usually play music that I don't know because if I know the lyrics,
Oh,
start to sing and everything. But no, when I want to focus on something, I usually listen to music that I don't know. So
that's a good strategy.
I feel that I can be like, how say, well, when you, well, it helped me to not pay attention to the things around me. And also I'm not singing, so I can focus on the thing. So it usually helped me a lot.
Yes.
And yes, well, for example, uh, I went to, I went to work last Saturday and I'm going to go this Saturday. So, but for example, I have to cover 8 hours, but I have
Yeah.
to do as much as I can. So in order to avoid take my cell phone or anything, I just play music and start working. And I like to be honest, I like to be alone, for example, because when I
Yes.
work on Saturdays, there are only like 2 or 3 coworkers more instead of like 20 or 30 that we are. So it helped me a lot, yes. But I like to work on in that way. The problem with working during the regular business days is that there are a lot of people around me. They want to talk me maybe about what
Yes.
they did yesterday, or maybe I receive a call, I receive an email, and even when I'm working on something different, I I feel that I have to read the email, even when I'm not answering in that moment, but I just want to see if it's something important or not. But there are too many distractors.
So people are distracting to you.
Yeah, so that's why I really enjoy
Wow.
working. on weekends.
That's
And
so
yes,
interesting.
and the part that helps me a lot is the one that I mentioned about listening to music that you don't know. I mean, you
That,
can.
that was interesting to me because like you create a bubble like that
Mhm,
that separates your work from the external stimuli,
uh-huh.
and then the bubble is this music that you don't know, that you don't recognize, that can let you not pay attention to the music.
Exactly.
That's so interesting. You know,
Yes, but sometimes it's something that makes me feel tired, you know. There are some times that I've been sitting in front of the computer by 3 hours and I didn't notice it.
for 3 hours, not by,
Oh yes, sorry, for 3 hours and I didn't notice it.
because your bubble is so powerful that time can fly.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Sometimes I also forget to go to the bathroom. I mean, I just realize. How to say suddenly that I need to go because I cannot like stay more time without going.
When you start dancing is when you realize that you haven't been up for hours.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally true. I have been there. I have been there too. I think that resonates to me from before, and I think that's what the bubble creates. But I don't see that as something wrong. I
Well,
think there's a no.
I mean, there could be some positive and negative effects.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I think it depends because obviously I'm not all the time like that, like this. And just maybe when I have to finish something really important, or when I know that I have a lot of things to do and I really need to focus. But the most of the time, I can be like listening to a podcast, for example, and
Mhm.
working slower than if I focus on the task. But yes,
Right.
I think it depends on the context, and I think that we need to learn how to manage your time because I mean I feel that if you are focused all the time, you get tired faster.
Agree.
Yeah, so you need to how to say like to learn how to handle that part.
Yes. Yes. Totally. It's about, of course, it's a constant experiment.
Yeah,
This time, every time you have some uh, deadline, there's always an experiment. What to do, how we know each other, etc. Ourselves, sorry, not each other, ourselves. And then we start analyzing what works for us, what doesn't work for us. I have been there in the thing you just mentioned, the bubble of music, and it has worked. It really has worked. For some reason, I stopped doing that, and I'm trying to remember why, but I cannot figure it out. I stopped listening to music while working, and I don't know if it's an influence from like this bubble of distraction. Because there is another problem with me. If I want to make content of everything, so and this is another influence from the cell phone. I have been. Have you seen the Pomodoro videos on YouTube?
no, I haven't.
Do you know what the Pomodoro technique is?
Pomodoro, no, it sounds like something related to pasta.
Yeah, it's something related to pasta. The Pomodoro sauce is a sauce that is very similar to pizza tomato sauce. Okay. The interesting part about Pomodoro sauce is that there is a process to cook Pomodoro sauce that needs a specific moment in the fire, and then you turn it off for say a minute, and then you turn it on again, and you add more things, and then you turn it off,
Okay.
and then you turn it on. There is a methodology of studying called the Pomodoro technique, based on the Pomodoro preparation.
Timer for 25 minutes and focus on a single.
Exactly. Study in full focus for 25 minutes to 30, and then rest for 5.
For an hour.
and then go to sleep for 6 hours. So that's exactly the different thing. And I tried it. But
And
checking the time,
did it work?
it was so distracting to me.
Okay.
It was so distracting to me. It was like constantly checking the clock, or ignoring the time, or
Yes.
going to the bathroom and leaving the time run. And I don't remember when I was. It was really distracting. But here's another technique. You can try it out.
Yes, maybe it's not for you, no? It's just that, but it could work for any other
It could
person.
work for you.
Yes, maybe.
I will recommend you this once you open YouTube, because
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you open YouTube for work. Do you?
Sometimes I usually use Spotify, but yes, sometimes I open YouTube.
For podcasts and for other things, right?
Especially for during the weekends, because I can like since I am alone, I feel
Uh-huh.
more comfortable in like opening other things that are not related maybe to the my regular duties.
But that is not at work.
Yes,
At work or not at work? Because you said weekends. I'm confused.
no, yes, but when I'm working at during the weekends. But when I am at
Oh,
home, yes, I open it. Well, yes, when I'm doing anything, I like to play videos while I am doing any other thing, even when I'm not watching them.
well, the thing that I was going to recommend
Uh-huh.
was the Pomodoro video.
Okay. So I think
Pomodoro Jazz,
it
Pomodoro Study
help
with
you
me.
to to review the time or
It creates this bubble. There are people that have recorded themselves,
uh-huh.
and look at this. This video is 3 hours long.
So there are many cycles of this.
Well, just count the numbers. If it's a 50-10 and it's 3 hours, it's 3 pomodoros with rest of 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay,
You know what I mean?
it sounds nice. Actually, something that I have been doing during my last days in the office is that I set a timer. For example,
Mhm.
last Saturday, I set it for 8 hours and then 10 minutes because sometimes I also forget the time that I arrive. So I set it so I can leave the office on time because if not, I can stay there for more and more
Longer.
hours. Yes, longer.
That's my thing. That's exactly the thing that I need, because this pomodoro, the one thing that helped me was to measure time correctly, to know exactly what time it was. So I saw the I started the pomodoro at 9 o'clock. I know exactly that I will finish at 11.
Yeah.
And then I was like constantly knowing what time it was, not losing track of time, etc. For me, it was super distracting because I wanted to record myself. You
Yeah.
know, I wanted to make a video. But I think that's going to work for you.
Yes,
You know,
maybe. And also it depends on what are you working on, yeah?
correct,
Yeah.
correct. My favorite one is About. I love him so much. Like
Okay.
the music that he puts is amazing,
And the backgrounds.
but also that he makes ambience too.
Ah, okay, okay.
So
So
you
you
can you
feel
can listen rain, you can listen to rain and gray sounds,
is
and
there something similar to an office environment?
Yeah, sure. Like all of this.
Okay.
His house, office environment, ambient is the name.
Oh, yes.
It's ambient. When you say ambient, you are talking about the sounds.
Okay. Yes, like
You
in
can
the.
hear people
Yes,
clicking, people
it
doing
looks nice.
check it. It's so cool. But anyway, just a second because Jessie is here and
Oh, yes.
prolonged it. Sorry, Jess.
No worries, teachers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good time. I will take attendance, please. Is here Christian? Hello, Christian. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Thank you, Christian. And Isaac. Hello, Isaac. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Thank you, Isaac. So, thank you guys to be here and for you tomorrow. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Melanie.
Bye.
Well, this introduction was way longer than expected. You really wanted to share about this. And this is so interesting because we are not talking enough about it. I insist that our colleagues, friends, and family, especially people that are in our generation, we don't talk about how we accomplish stuff and how what are our personal experiments when we are trying to work, when we are trying to create a new habit, when we are trying to build something from our lives. We never talk about this, but this is a very everyday situation. Everybody has struggles with this. We all struggle with distractions around us. So you have a lot to speak about.
Yes, something really interesting.
Super, super interesting. What is interesting to me is that there is an article from Vox called How to Be Alone with Your Thoughts, because now it's necessary to teach people to be alone with your thoughts, which is, I think, the first time in the history of the humanity that we need to instruct this back. You know, our ancestors did it normally, and today we are so exposed that we need to learn basics again.
Yes, back to the basics.
Back to basics, exactly. We are going to read about that. Meanwhile, good job, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for sharing, and we're gonna read tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, thank you. It was something really interesting today.
Very, very. Try the Pomodoro tomorrow and tell me
Yes, I will
how
try.
it worked.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
guys.
you. See you.
Bye bye.